What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Pay-Per-Viewpoint edition of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. In your house just happened. The NXT show ran down the matches we were super excited for, and my energy level is very, very low. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango. Joining me, as always, is Robert DeFelice.
Put a little pep in your step there, pal.
I gotta have a reason to. I mean, somebody needs to give me an adrenaline shot because I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, that's about right. It was a serviceable episode of NXT. And look, if I'm being honest, like there's some notable stuff on this show that we're gonna talk about, but some of it's just sort of like,
Things happened on here that on paper, if you read it, you would think that it would be a better show than what it was, but look, this is going to be a quick one. I got nothing to say about almost every single one of these segments, but the general grand sweeping notion I have for this is everything was bland, and even the most interesting things that happened in a less than interesting way, and the most interesting part about it is what they do with it going forward rather than what happened. So, as we break down what happened here, toss your comments below if you have anything at all to say about this event. And, of course, make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell, hit the like button, hit the join button to get to the membership on YouTube, get the members-only content. Same thing as Patreon. Check out TeePublic and Redbubble if you want to check out the merchandise options. And hit that little thanks button or that little coin purse, whatever the fuck that little icon is anymore. I don't even remember. But let's just go through, because outside of saying what happened in the recap side of things, I really don't have much to talk about. Kickoff had a half an hour's worth of, hey, this is a card. And then we went into a video package with a voiceover from Todd Pettengill, and then a look at the set, which didn't have anything to it. No house.
Correct.
So, like, blah. Again, you didn't even put the house up. If you don't care, why am I supposed to care?
While we're on the topic of blah, let's talk about it was in your house. And I know that it's an NXT tradition at this point. I get that. I'm down with that. I understand. But there was nothing at all of a throwback. And that disappointed me.
Again, like, the Todd Pettengill thing was part of a voiceover. So they got him to say...
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Wait,
that was Matt Camp, was it not?
I thought that was Pettengill.
I thought it was for a moment, and then I realized, I said, no, that's Matt Camp's voice.
You know, I wouldn't put it past him if it wasn't. I don't know. For some reason, it struck me as Pettengill. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But yeah, they couldn't be bothered to even make the graphics look like it was the house or anything. This was as low effort as everything is in NXT. So unfortunately, that's going to lead into a low effort post show, because what am I going to create out of this, you know?
At this point, I feel like there's no point in calling it in your house. And yes, I'm gonna be all bogged down about that, because I love these shows because of the throwback feel of it.
Yeah, if you take out the graphic for like the on-screen logo, it's the same as every other episode of NXT. So surprise, surprise, the action was the same as every episode of NXT. We started it off with a 6-man tag team match, and that's
about as good as it gets, boys and girls.
Really, for the most part. And I had written down, this is all over the place, everybody's flip-flopping like fish. That there was much more whistling in this match than I had anticipated. For some reason, people kept whistling a lot. And all that happens is we get some weapons involved, and D'Angelo's crew ends up winning. So the expectation was that would happen, and it did. We didn't get Giovanna Vinci. We didn't get any kind of twists or turns. Again, it's the type of thing where the most interesting thing is what are they going to do out of this, not what actually happened here.
I had said to you that I really liked the finish. That it was clever how they had knocked out, I think it was 2 dimes with brass knuckles. And then one of the Legado guys got hit with brass knuckles, and they just sort of pushed 2 dimes over onto the guy, and I really liked that for a finish because he was out on his feet, and to make sure they win, they pushed him over. But like that was about it.
Then we had a backstage segment that was just like, "Hey, Alba Fire, she's Alba Fire," and Lash Legend's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a match with her."
That, or no? Was that the gimmick they were already doing with her?
Yeah, pretty much.
Was that not like a vignette that already aired?
Probably. They're all the same. And all it was to set up Lash Legend is gonna have a match with her. Why do I care?
Like that played into the thing with Lash Legend, and Lash Legend was like, "Oh, so she's got heritage," and I'm like, "Yeah, aren't you watching the show?" Like,
doesn't everyone?
Yeah, it's like, oh, she's got a heritage. So Alba Fire said she didn't want to fight her, so I think that was Ariana Grace said, "Well, then I'll fight her." I honestly, I don't know. One of the new girls said, "Well, then I'll fight her," and I guess she's gonna fight her on Tuesday, probably.
That's what you get for a premium live event. That went over to the women's tag team titles. Casey and Casey coming up short, and we get Toxic Attraction retaining with a German suplex that made it look like Kayden Carter landed kind of awkwardly on the back of her neck or so. I hope she's okay. But I've got nothing at all to say about this again. The only note that I wrote down for the entire thing was how the size differential was when Casey or Katana Chance, hate that name.
One of the Caseys.
When Katzara was standing next to Gigi Dolan, I was like, all right, I don't buy into her being able to put up a fight.
Even Gigi, her. Right? Like, which is funny because Gigi's not.
No, she's not like some 9 foot tall Amazon kind of woman or anything.
Right, but, like she's not Rhea Ripley or anything.
Yeah, but you put Casey next to her, and Casey, of course, is the tiniest person on the roster. So then it's a series of elbow shots and forearms and whatever. And when am I ever going to talk about that being like the most amazing thing in the world? So again, I've got nothing at all to say about it.
They had a nice entrance, did the baby faces.
Even that, no.
I'm trying here.
I'm not even going to bother to try with that. I was like, this is kind of weird. We have these people ringside and they were just all like, woo, 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 with the low energy. The fans, started off this episode or show. I'm just naturally calling it an episode. With like they had a lot of energy and they had more energy than I had throughout this night. So I'll give them credit for that. I hope that the people in attendance enjoyed this, but I didn't. And the tag team titles stay where they are as expected. You were saying that you still thought that they might win, but
yeah, they got a nice little entrance. I'm like, all right, yeah, they'll win. They'll give them something. No,
nope. But we did get a title change in the next segment. Carmelo Hayes wins back the North American Championship, which I didn't see coming.
I kind of did, because Melo, he's really, really good. But I have a question. Who's got next?
Von Wagner.
Thank you for clearing that up. Nobody had said that they had next. I just wanted to make sure.
So now we're going to get, I'm assuming, of course, we're going to get Hayes against Solo Sikoa. And
at Great American Bash on July 5th.
Yeah.
Is it July 5th? Is that just Tuesday?
Did they even announce that tonight?
Yeah, it was July 5th. So it's the Tuesday after Money in the Bank.
When did they announce it? I completely went brain dead, I guess, and just was like not paying attention to it. Maybe it was when I was like ran to the bathroom or something.
It was after the women's title match.
Okay, yeah, that's when I ran to the bathroom.
Oh no, not after the tag title. Sorry.
Oh, then I don't know. Maybe I
mentally checked out. It's okay.
Maybe that's when I went to the bathroom. I don't know. I don't even remember that anymore.
You don't even know when you went to the bathroom.
At some point during this event, I went to the bathroom. There you go. It was probably the highlight of the thing. I mean, the match itself, I mean, Grimes is good and Hayes is good, and they had a fine enough match, but I've seen it before and it's not all that interesting. And again, I'm more interested in just, are they going to move on past this, or is it just going to be Sikoa wins? And if so, who does he fight next? Like, can I just skip a month and a half or whatever it is?
Yeah, good match. Carmelo's good. Him and Trick Williams, they just look good. They look like stars. I'll say that. A few of these new NXT guys are starting to really look like stars. And Melo's one of them.
I am hoping that this means Grimes goes up to the main roster.
Well, I don't really hope for that, because what would he do? But I understand.
Yeah. I don't know. Just something, anything. You know, there's nothing left for him to do in NXT. Move him up. Put him on SmackDown. Then we had the women's title match. Mandy Rose successfully retaining over Wendy Choo. I had written down, I feel bad crapping on it because they're definitely trying really hard and they're probably putting on the best possible match that they could, but I wasn't super high into it. And at the end, it ends up being Rose gets to win with a high knee. And the only thing that I wrote down really that stood out to me was, it's funny that Choo uses the sleeper hold.
It was sleepy time.
Yeah, that was my one takeaway of this.
I really enjoyed that. It's sleepy time. I do want to say something here, because I don't know if it was this match or if it was the women's tag title match. I apologize if it was. But at some point in this night, Wade Barrett openly said, hey, just thinking that you're good enough to be champion isn't enough. Look at me. I thought I was going to main event WrestleMania. And I felt really bad.
That is sad. And he should have.
He really should have. Because, like, I'm not going to get bogged down about the Nexus. But, like, Wade Barrett really should have been a thing. And I felt bad.
Yeah, how did the Nexus not turn into Wade Barrett's holding the title and somebody like a John Cena has to beat him for it, you know?
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. Yeah, outside of that, I mean, they went to a backstage segment. Tiffany Stratton and Roxanne Perez going, I'm going to win on Tuesday. No, I'm going to win. Okay.
Tiffany is a better actress than 90% of the... I almost said Divas roster. Forgive me. 90% of the NXT women's roster.
With the NXT roster, you know, playing around the way that they do. It is kind of the Divas era in some ways.
And Roxanne Perez... Look, I get it. I like AJ Lee too. But I look at her and I'm like, I think you're just AJ. I think somebody's like, hey, you like AJ, right? Do AJ.
Yeah, I saw somewhere somebody had labeled Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez as the daughters of AJ Lee.
Well, AJ's actually called them that in the past, but like when watching her, I was just like, you just... nothing but AJ vibes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame that they can't get her to come in and do some kind of thing for that. Not going to happen, for sure. Frankie in the chat. What's up, Frankie? Saying, love Carmelo Hayes. I think he could be a big deal. I will say, though, Tiffany isn't bad in the ring, to be honest. Tiffany's got more character and everything than some other people do. I'm not down on Tiffany Stratton. I'm not down on Roxanne Perez either. It's just a matter of, like...
I'm not down on any of these women. Like, I think I've been one of the only people, like, I'm even into the idea of Ava Rain, because I just think, like, sure, guys, go ahead and chase your dreams. But all these segments have just been so bland.
Incredibly bland. Thankfully, at least the best match of the night was the tag team title match. Creed Brothers against Pretty Deadly. They had a good enough match to keep my interest to actually watch the damn thing more than anything else. And we got a shooting star press in there. That was good. I still hate the clothesline finish, but we got new tag team champions.
I would have ended it on the shooting star. I don't know why they fell. Okay, I'll sit up so you can give me a lariat.
Yeah.
Look, at certain points in this match, they were moving in slow motion. But, like, the Creed brothers are going to be really, really, really good.
What's that? You're cutting out.
I said at some point in the match, they were moving in slow motion. But they're going to be really good when they get more seasoning.
Yeah. I'm enjoying them. And they are the rightful tag team champions. They should have won instead of MSK back at whatever that is. Stand and Deliver? Yeah.
Yep. That is the one.
So we're just back around to the idea of, all right, we made the wrong decision that time, so let's just do that. Which, it's funny, because I was thinking about this. I'm like, the basic theme of NXT championships this year is you lost the belt, it didn't make a whole lot of sense when you lost it, and then you're going to win it back. There's 3 of them. Actually 4 if you count the tag team titles, but they didn't lose the title, so it's just like, you didn't win it, okay, let's wait a little bit, and then you're going to win it back.
We'll give it to you on the next one.
Yeah. So they're literally, repeat myself a million times, but that's what repetitive shit brings, but they are just stalling as much as they possibly can to get through anything. It's, you keep moving the goalpost, and it's just sort of like, all right, well, if we just get through this month, if we just get through this episode, if we just get through this thing, until when, If the pay-per-views don't matter, then I'm not going to go down the whole thing again. I'm too fucking tired for that. Point being, not a big fan of how it's going, but I like the Creed brothers, and I'm glad they won the titles.
Yeah, we're really spit from the bottom of the barrel when we go. That's all this show was, though.
Yeah. And then
that match. I do want to shout out Pretty Deadly. They just have a start. Just do that.
You're cutting out again. You want to shout out Pretty Deadly, and then what?
Because they're stars. You know what I mean?
They've got more character than a lot of people again. And whenever somebody has the character able to do that, then they're more entertaining to watch, yeah.
Yeah, and good match, and the Creed brothers wore a highlighter.
Yeah, the yellow singlet was really standing out.
A lot.
And then we got our main event. NXT title match. You know the deal. If Bron Breakker gets disqualified, he loses the title, and it took until like 9/10 of the match was over for that to factor in. It did suck.
Sucks. They did the stupid thing where they're hit me, I dare you, hit me, and then he didn't. They did a thing where he did the Eddie Guerrero spot, and the referee was doing like this really dramatic, I have to disqualify you. And he raised his arm, and for some reason, another referee was like, it's my sworn duty to stop this. And he did. And I don't know why more referees don't do this.
It's one of the only notes that I wrote down on this was another referee comes out to stop it from being ruled a DQ. Why can't referees do that for other types of interference? The answer is shut up. That's why.
So I have to shout that out here because someone said to me on Twitter, "Hey, why don't the Druids just hit Gacy because then he'll win the title?" And I said, "Shut up. That's why."
Because that's the answer. It's just, stop trying to apply logic to it and watch the show. And if you don't like it, you're a bad fan, and we're going to try to gaslight you. Meanwhile, it's just kind of like...
There was no special ending. There was no... Bron Breakker won. He's Mr. NXT. And that's that. Yeah,
there was really nothing to it. You were waiting, of course, afterward. You're like, can somebody attack him, or can something happen? And the answer was nope. He just retained, and that's the end of it. Hopefully, I don't want to see any more Joe Gacy versus Bron Breakker matches.
That's the end of it. There's nothing else to do. What do? You know what I do at the Great American Bash? I take a page out of their history books, like with Keith Lee and Cole, and I have Mello challenge Breaker.
At least on paper, it's more interesting than some of the other options because I'm starting to get a little bit worried that it's just going to be Von Wagner. It's just Wagner against Breaker, you know?
The classic Beverly Brothers versus Steiner Brothers feud revisited.
I mean, the only other option would be maybe Grayson Waller can finagle his way into there.
Yeah, I want him to establish his relationship with Tiffany first.
Is there anybody that she could team with or whatever, like Breaker plus? I mean, I guess maybe it would be Breaker and Roxanne or something. I don't know, but then again, that's getting in the face of the Core Jade thing, so they don't have plans probably, and we'll probably wait at least another 2 or 3 weeks before we figure out what's happening there. So at least when it comes to leaving NXT in your house, I'm not feeling like, man, I can't wait till the next one. I'm more so feeling just like, why did I watch that one?
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away that it was Adam Cole and Pete Dunne and Killer Cross and Kyle, and that feels like forever ago. And even honestly, the Dolph Ziggler saga feels like forever ago. This was fine, but
I wouldn't even go that far.
I will never think about it again.
Like, I'm not the type of person who thinks the bare minimum is something to praise. I think it's just, it exists.
I don't think it's praising it if you say, this is fine. It's fine.
That's more praise than I'm willing to give it. I'll say that.
Fair enough.
Because I'm very much just like, this basically wasted my night. And I was like, man, I really wish that I was watching the first 3 episodes of The Boys. I haven't had a chance to check that out yet. Caroline and I have been watching Yellow Jackets, which has been fun. And I'm like,
interesting.
The 3 hours dedicated to this, if I would have watched 3 episodes of that show, it would have been way better use of my time.
Have you gotten through Stranger Things yet?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, yeah, I'm waiting because I know it's going to take up so much time. So I'm waiting.
Oh, just go ahead and start watching it.
Yeah?
Yeah. That way you know that when the other 2 episodes comes out that you're all caught up.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And Frankie tossing out a little Vecna joke in the chat too. Wishing Vecna would have just killed Gacy in the main event.
At least we know, we did establish one thing tonight, Tony. We know who the Mount Rushmore of Ninja Turtles are.
That is true. Maybe we will present you with a special edition of Mount Rushmore over on Fanboys Anonymous with that, everybody. Because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Washington is something... Everybody has no idea what the hell we're talking about, but that's okay. Isn't me tossing that out much more interesting than anything that happened on tonight? Drop a comment below and tell us your thoughts, because woof, this was a show, and if this was a regular episode of NXT, I would have been like, oh, it was a bland ass episode of NXT. For it to be a pay-per-view, a premium live event, you got to do better. Sorry. Bare minimum's not something I'm going to be happy about. So I have literally nothing else to say about this. We are not even at a half an hour. This is easily the quickest post show that has happened.
Yeah, I got nothing else. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at DudeFelice, please. Especially Twitch. I really want to grow Twitch. I can't say it enough. Twitch.tv/DudeFelice. And it would mean the world to me if you would all jump on board. So we can do other things. I mean, even if we're going to talk about wrestling, it's still like we're going to do other things outside of the main product.
Outside of this stuff. And I would love to do more over on fanboysanonymous.com. So show some love over to the Blue brand there. And of course, the more support that I get over there, the more time I can dedicate to that. So whether that is something like the Pick Your Poison tier, where you're like, I really want you guys to do this, this Mount Rushmore of Spider-Man villains or something, or maybe you really want fan tracks of something or other. That's the whole point. You get to pick what the poison is. Unless it's like, I don't know, hydrochloric acid or something, then that's not. But Smark Out Moment stuff you'll find over at Smark Out Moment all over the place. SmarkOutMoment.com. The Fanboys Anonymous stuff you'll find at FanboysAnonymous.com.
Tomorrow night about Hell in a Cell.
What was that?
We'll have slightly more to say tomorrow night about Hell in a Cell.
God, I hope so, because
only slightly.
Not feeling that one either, but I guess tomorrow night we'll figure that out. We'll have a post show happening right after Hell in a Cell, so stay tuned for that, everybody. And yeah, Huerta's popping into the chat. Did I miss the entire post show? Yup, because we just sped through this one like this is nothing, because it was.
I mean, I think if we would have broken down the intricacies of the AEW World Championship Eliminator Series, we'd be talking for longer.
Yeah, I think that if we just debated what they announced for where the interim title is going to be settled, that would have been, well, go, what's happening with this? Is it a battle royal? Is it whatever? No, who's going to be in it? Whatever. Much more interesting conversation, but that's not what we're talking about. So stay tuned to, I guess, the next episode of the Hot Tags. Next time we're going to address that. Wow. And Hell in a Cell coming up tomorrow night. There you go. That's in your house. Thanks for joining us, Marco and Frankie. Thanks for listening. Anybody who's listening to this after the fact, and I don't know, keep watching the skies. Skis. See you later, everybody. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we are being counted out.